Hey, what's going on everybody? It's me, Scarecrow Gaming, and I'm here today to bring you guys another Fallout build, and this one is a slave auctioning stage. And the idea behind this build is I wanted to use these canopies, which you can find in the request dump section that is in the CVA mod, in the Structures Miscellaneous tab. So go and check that out. Lots of cool stuff there. Definitely highly recommend you use some of the stuff there if you're going to be building, especially if you're going to be building anything like a store or something like that, akin to that, because these canopies are really useful. I'm hoping that we can eventually get something like the but the caravan trading canopies. I really like those, and I really wish we had those to build with, but I digress. Anyways, the idea behind this build is back in the 1800s in America, at least. I know that, I'm not sure if other countries had it like this, but there were slaves and everything. Of course, there's always been slaves in other countries, but when we had our slaves, we would take them off the ships and we would auction them off on the stages, like on little platform stage type deals, and very terrible stuff. But in the Fallout universe, this would be allowed, and it's not like we're transporting them by stage. It's more like Paradise Falls with how we captured and enslaved people in that game. I'm trying to think of ways that we could auction off the slaves without having to transport them ourselves from Finch Farm. So my idea behind it is we'll use a stage. People come to us if they want a slave, and they come and build. They come and pay the best dime that they can pay. So how I go about doing this is I use these shack foundations. I used this one right here. I get rid of all these, by the way. I used the other one as just a guideline for where the other one should be at, because I had an idea on what I wanted to do. And I originally was thinking about even using those ones that already had the floor on it, but I decided against that because I wanted to do the floors uniquely. I wanted to make it look interesting, and I also wanted to do this to make it difficult on me. I like giving myself a challenge whenever I do these builds because it makes me think outside the box on how I can make this simple looking build more difficult and harder on myself, especially since my place anywhere tool doesn't work properly. If your place anywhere tool works properly, then you can do this build very quickly, and it wouldn't probably even take you 30 minutes, even including the decorating process. So I get this floor in place, and then I snap on two smaller floors of these right here. Yeah, the regular shack floors that are 1/4 of the size of the big ones. And I make sure to alternate the types that I use right there. And then I go to the miscellaneous tab and I grab the shack floor supports right here. Make sure you guys use those. They're very useful, especially with these type of builds because of their odd shape. That's why I say that this build is 2x2, because it still has the full size of a 2x2, but it has one more thing that's a part of it. It's not technically a 2x2, it's just a 2x1, but then there's also an extra back piece that will be put on later using these shack floor supports. And as you can see, I have to do it differently. If you have a regular place anywhere tool, you can easily clip them in, so that's why I have to use the pillar glitch with the place anywhere tool to lift it up. And they fit on perfectly right there. They look really nice, and it looks like it just goes with the build. So here's me just checking to make sure that it will fit on the stage, and of course it will, because I'm a genius and I did this. Not really, I'm not a genius. I just come up with crazy ideas like the throwing knife range. I thought that was really cool. If you guys haven't seen that, make sure you guys go and check that out. But as you guys can see, I snap on these shack wall and floor outer caps and stuff, and I use the corner right here. I changed the metal one out for one. I used the one without the walls on it because I'm going to do something different. I accidentally delete that. Good job, Scarecrow. And then there we go. I delete that one and I place down a wooden version of it because it looks nicer. So then right here I also have to use the same shack floor supports on it to make it look right. So yeah. So right here I'm trying to decide what I want to do next, and I figure, well, let's go ahead and get started with just placing down the back entrance where the slaves would come in after they get transported off the overpass right above us, because that's where they live at. If you've been keeping up with my live streams, you would know that. And I just place down the staircase right there. It flows perfectly. I make sure it does, of course, and then I grab one of the half wall pieces that get usually placed on the ends, not that one, and I don't put it right there. What I do for that wall, you'll see in a bit, but because like no matter what, you'll have one poking through. So I'm like, well, how can I remedy this to where there's not one poking through? And it's actually very, very, very simple. And by the way, I know there's a humming, and I don't know what is causing that. I know it's not my mic. I know it's something to do with the I think it's something to do with the share factory itself, because when I go to the microphone settings on my PlayStation, it doesn't have that humming whenever I speak. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I'm really sorry about it. I might start just recording on my computer now, because I use the share factory whenever I do my edits. So what I do to remedy the walls right here to make it look right is I use the shack railings, and I placed them on like this, like so. And I don't just use one, and I don't use the same one for when I put it on. What I do is I grab not that one, but that one right there. I check to see if it will look right, and it will. I think about using a palette one, but palettes are really overused in Fallout, so they can become stale to look at. And the reason why they're overused quite a bit in most builds, and hell, even in this one for the floors, is because they actually look scrappy and such, and that's why people like to use them. Hell, even I enjoy using them the most. And there we go. That goes in just right, and it looks like it's clipping on the left side right there, but it's actually, what it's doing is it's going behind the board, so it looks like it's getting like wedged in behind it. So I allow it because it looks different, it looks unique, and it just works. So right here I was having trouble deciding what to do next, and I do have those railings on there. I will take them off eventually, so don't worry. I put that staircase on there just because there has to be an area where the slaves walk off from after they've been auctioned off. And then, yes, talking about slavery is a terrible thing, so yeah. But hey, what are you gonna do? There's always slavery in the Fallout universe. And I think about using these shack mid-free supports for something, and I decided to take them off because they look god-awful. I wish I could have used them, but they're just god-awful looking right there. Cool idea and concept, but poor execution. So right here, I check to see if I can just go ahead and straight on put that on. I'm just like, nope, gotta lower it down to the right height and such. So I do lower it down, and I try putting it on. And I don't show this later on after I do what I do to fix it, because it doesn't look quite right here. Like, I put it on and all that, but it doesn't quite look right. There's a bunch of gaps in the back, and you guys will see that later on. So I find a way to fix it, and how I go about it, you guys will think it is very simple, but at first I didn't think about that, and so I rage quit after trying a couple other methods of like, what could I do to make this look right. And what I end up doing is I check it one more time, I place it down so I have it ready, and then I go to the shack half walls and I grab the palette one here. Like I said, the palettes are overused, but it's because they look nice. And originally when I was going to use this, I was going to use the CVA planks, and I was just going to cover it up, but I was just like, that is gonna take forever to do. I was trying to figure out an easy way to do it, and so after getting frustrated with it last night, I rage quit, and I'm just laying in my bed. I'm talking to CommonwealthCourier, and she's like, maybe you'll think about it in the morning. We're just texting each other and such, and then it hits me, and I'm just like, I already just thought of it. I'll do it in the morning because there's no point in getting back on it right now since I already have everything turned off. So I hop back on in the morning, and I place it down, and I just get to work. And it looks really, really nice. It turns out baller. Wow, I just used that word. And yeah, you'll see me flip it in actually a second. And there's still that gap right there, and you're like, what did you do to fix the gap? And you will see. Holy yawn, dear God. You guys will see in a little bit. What I do is I just flip those. Make sure they're straight, by the way. If they aren't straight, it ain't. Wait, dear God, that sounds like I'm being. No, I promise. I promise I don't have a thing against the gays. No, if it's not straight, it won't look right. Oh, God, no matter how I say that, it sounds like I am a. God, never mind. Anyways, back to the main topic. Make sure those are straight so when they go on properly, it goes on properly. So then you want to put those on. Make sure they go on clean and smoothly. They do. And then what I do to fix this problem, just like maybe I should use another palette, because I do go to the palette railing. I'm just like, maybe I can do that. And I'm just like, no, dear God, no. What are you doing? Too many palettes. So I then go to CVA and I grab one of the planks right here that has the multiple on it at once. And originally I was going to use the tilt tool to put down a palette that was blue. That way it looked different. But I couldn't get the tilt tool to work properly. So if anybody has a advanced tilt tool guiding thing, because I already forgot how to do it, then let me know. And here's the full tour. So as you guys can see, very light decorating. I really like the Christmas lights of Merry Christmas. No, it gives a very nice vibe to it. It adds more color because it's very dull and boring with just that orange roof and the neon light right there. So the Christmas lights add an extra bit of color. As you guys can see, though, it doesn't take much decorating to make this very easy build look nice. And the point of this is just like, the point of my last couple builds is to show you don't need to do crazy stuff to make things look nice and make simple builds look really good. So these ideas that I'm putting out there, like the throwing knife range and the slave auction stage, they're very simple and very quick to build, but they still turn out nice. It's nothing like it's just me wasting your time building a road or something like that. It's very just nice and simple. And that's the point of this, is just to build something simple that looks nice. So here's a night tour. I'm going to go ahead and do my outro. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys appreciated the video. Make sure you guys go and check out CommonwealthCourier. She didn't do the thumbnail, but I did mention her in here. And she also, the last formatting she did for my thumbnail, which is for the throwing knife thing, I basically am just going to be using that formatting the whole time. So there will always be a link to her channel in my videos. So make sure you guys go and check her out. I really like the lighting I did for the slave trading station. I probably could have added like one of those floor spotlight things onto it here, but what are you gonna do about it? But yeah, make sure you guys go and check out CommonwealthCourier and go and check out my Patreon, please. The more money you donate to me, the better you can help out my channel. And as always, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, share this video to all your friends and family on the Facebooks and the Twitters. And as always, make sure you guys keep it easy, keep sexy, and keep it active. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and have a wonderful day. Bye.